A very, very warm good evening. This is Arun Chaudhary. You're live on my YouTube channel, arunfoot, on a day that Hong Kong beats India 4-0 in an AFC Asian Cup 2027 final round qualifier. And not much to say. 93rd, 94th minute, conceded penalty. Yeah, nothing much to say. I start with Aditya's comments. Api karo support is team ko, can't do it anymore. I just can't, and just stick to ISL. Now shout on me all you want, but I cannot support this team. If you want to do experiment, then bring all players. Why same players? Why does it has to be Ashik? You see, was not a good forward, so you now went to Ashik as false 9. Why the hell, Mano? You know you're going to say now that Isak Putti Admanmash will play bad, but at least give them a chance. 2 or 3 things, Aditya, that I will say to you, or to anyone. The Indian football team is your team, is my team, is everybody else's team. It's our team, right? And if I look at other nations, big or small, I was talking over the weekend with a good Italian friend of mine. Italy, of course, lost to Norway 3-0. Fired Spalletti, just about meet Moldova 2-0. And he was crying about Italy. And I was just said to him, I said, what should I say if you as Italy are crying? If you're crying about the Squadra Azzurra, right? 4 times world champion, you won the 2021 Euros or the 2020 Euros in 2021. What am I going to say when I talk about Indian football? And this is what I say to you as well, to anyone. Is this team bad? Yeah, no doubt about it. Does it actually deserve our support? Actually not. But as with any team, country or club, you stick with your team in good and bad times, especially in the bad times. I've seen a few over the years, nothing like now, because the realization is, which Manolo is realizing if he's going into the training sessions, that I have a problem over there. Now, you will say the Ashik experiment was bad, this and that. Yeah, we can talk about it. But Ashik got 2 chances, which I think others would have not gotten. Right? Technical mistake. And the first one, he pokes it with his left. He just needs to try and push it with his right. But again, the bad footballer that I am, I had a similar situation on Friday. I actually poked it as well. And sorry, I didn't poke it. I played it. And the ball went to the outside of the goal. So therefore, there are these things. And the second one, which he turns and all, it's fine. But it looks like Manolo has set his mind on certain things, which we had also under Steven, under Igor, Bob, whoever. For example, Roshan doesn't seem to figure in it. He did make the changes in midfield that we called for. He brought back Suresh, hit Apuya. Brandon, better game than I've seen him actually all season, to be very honest. He's had a very poor season, in my opinion. Chante, not as impactful as he can be. Liston has his moments, but if he has one good moment, he then has 100 bad ones. Our defense, hanging in there. Whenever they were put under pressure, they were struggling, especially Ashish Rai. And Vishal Keth, I guess that blunder was bound to happen because he didn't look sure of himself. So then we talk about what to do. But if I look at the under 23s, under 20s, under 17s, and the under 17s have been very, very close to my heart since I organized a camp for them in 2002 here in Germany. So I've been regularly following that under 17 squad. But if I see the drop of talent since the under 17 World Cup till now in our under 17s, then where are the better players supposed to come from? Right? Sunil Chhetri was not Sunil Chhetri when he was 19, 20. Sunil Chhetri became the player at 26, 27, maybe even at 30 plus. Right? And most probably, one has to also realize that most probably the days where Sunil can carry a team are over because he needs that support. He can't be a one-man army. He's always, if you see the success of Sunil Chhetri in the Indian national team, you'll see that he's always had someone to play off. At the start with Baichung, it was at some stage, it was Robin Singh, it was JJ. That's missing. Vision ranking 201 says, Uday, you know what? Let's forget the whole ranking game. I saw last week, and I've said that also in the video that I made a few days ago on Uzbekistan and on Jordan, Indonesia. We were never as good as Uzbekistan. If anybody thinks and believes that in the ranking we were 2 places behind Uzbekistan, we were of a similar level, then that person does not understand football. Sorry. Uzbekistan has always been much, much better than us. So therefore, stop this whole ranking game where we today 127 and Hong Kong 153. The rankings can be played around, manipulated. We did under Steven, under Igor to get into better pots. Yeah. At the moment, we are a team, as I say, between 120, 150. Most probably today I have to say we're most probably a team between 140 and 160. Right? You wanted to support this team, and I beg your pardon. I'm sorry, I may look like one person or share the sentiment of all those people who watch this team. Aditya, if you, as a football fan, and this is my thing to everyone, if you are a football fan, I have learned this here in Germany. My hometown team, FC Remscheid, former second Bundesliga club. I started going and watching them at 13, right? First time. Sorry, it was actually at 8 and 9, but that's a different thing. But probably 14, 14, 15. Yeah, 13, 14. They're now 6th division. I still go and watch them. Right? So if you turn your backs on a football team, that is your prerogative. Right? But be it club or country. And this is something I think that Indian football culture needs to, if it wants to be mature, you support your team more and you ask the right questions. I don't want today Mohun Bagan fans defending their players. They should openly say Vishal Keth is not capable of playing in the national team. It was a bad performance by Liston Colasso. It was not a good performance by Ashik. Yeah. So, I hope you're fine after watching this shambolic performance, because I'm not. I'm not. Methamphetamine. I am disappointed. I am angry because we have problems, and there is this group of managers and coaches, a WhatsApp group. I've told you a few things again about. There is no, understanding of what the problems are. They don't realize that they are the problem. They are the key. Our coaches are the key problem, because these guys worked with these guys at some stage in their career. They didn't teach them the right things. That is our biggest problem of Indian football, our coaches are not good enough. This national team is the end product of what has been produced the last 20 years. And that is something which we need to understand. And therefore, bash the AIFF as much as you can. The rest of the ecosystem needs to realize their own shortcomings as mistakes. Yeah. And yeah, it's insane. Good evening, Kieran Rare. I again paid to watch because I was not getting any link. Hannibal, this is the other thing. Free links is nice. Free tickets is nice. If anybody wants to support Indian football, then spend the little money that you can spend on it. You will say, okay, I've regretted it. Happens. Don't you go to a movie theater and say, oh, this movie wasn't good? So all of us need to support Indian football the way that he or she can. Right? Good evening, Anurag. I just had one popular page saying that the substitution were off today. I felt the subs were on point. What do you think? Anurag, I think the substitutions around 60 minutes of bringing on Sunil and Mahesh were good. I don't know if the border substitution could have been done earlier. If I was my thought, I would have rather liked to have seen Roshan as a right back, maybe even at halftime for Ashish because he was not up to the mark. And the Bheke substitution of Changte made no sense. Utterly off. Vision 1947, I feel, Gyan Rare, no vision would be better to say. Vinod says, Ananda, but with everything that's going on, I'm still Indian football. And you, Vinod, and this is something, right? 47 people watching at this moment in time. Thank you for all of you who are watching. It is something that we need to address. And we need to not get carried away by what is being sold, right? And it is a systematic failure, right? Vashwar, welcome back. Such a loss, such a necessary loss. That last-minute goal was such a relief. A draw would have been so much more worse. Would have celebrated one away point after such a shameful performance. Yes and no, Vashwar, because I think if you look at the game, I think it didn't deserve a winner. And if it deserved a winner, I think most probably we were more deserving than Hong Kong. Let's be honest about it. It was not a good game, but Hong Kong was bad as well, right? So these were two poor teams facing each other. And and therefore, you're right that this last-minute loss hits even harder. You think you're going to get over the line, you're going to, at least take a point home, stay in the race, and boom, now you're on 1 point. India, Bangladesh on 1 point. India, worst goal difference. India bottom of the table. Hong Kong and Singapore top with 4 points. That's the reality. And that is, but the problem to me is, will anything at this moment in time change? That's the reality. I feel not just players, even Manolo has shown that he's not capable. Methamphetamine, that's not just even Manolo is not. It's for me, it's that I thought last year, and I said it last year, I thought it was not a wise move to get Manolo as the national team coach. To me, Manolo's appointment was a mistake. I always said I will give him a chance till March. We'll look at March, we'll look at June, and then we can discuss if it's the right way or not. And to me, Manolo has not understood that coaching a national team is coaching. It's different than a club side. I don't know why, but that's my clear feeling, right? And to me, he's not understood that coaching a national team is not about the best players you see in the league, but the best players who are capable of playing at international level for the national team. There are too many players in the squad who don't deserve to be there. And I would have taken some players, some younger, some older players in there, but I would have changed the structure of the national team. And the structural changes that he's made has weakened the team even further. You know? AIFF parted ways, says Mank. This is not my team. Aditya, it is your team. It is your national team. It is yours, everybody's national team. If I like it or not, if you like it or not, if any one of you likes it or not, this national team is ours. As pathetic as they were today, this is our national team. This is Indian football, right? And you can all run away because we're failing. It's a failure. It's a complete failure, you know? But this will be your national team, right? So that's the reality. And if I like it, if you like it, if anybody likes it, that's the reality. After Constant took over in the early 2000s, this is the worst Indian men's national team I've seen. Naji's work, it's some good individuals, but all we are far from global standards. Uchut, I tell a story of how this all came about. In 2000, India played in England, played a tour, played Fulham, played West Bromwich Albion, and Bangladesh. We just about beat Bangladesh 1-0 in Leicester at the old Filbert Street Stadium of Leicester City. Joe Polancheri with the goal. And the year after, we played four lower level clubs in England and some exciting matches. And then I remember in late 2001, I met Stephen Constantine in London. And Stephen at the time, Nepal coach, we got into a conversation, and then I remember I recommended him because I felt this guy wants to do something. This guy wants to achieve something. And he's a hard taskmaster if you speak to people in Nepal. Stephen, I remember before the 2006 World Cup qualifier in Kolkata against Japan in 2004, August, I think there's still videos roaming around in the internet. The defensive players were not good enough to stand in a back four or back five. He actually organized a rope and tied those 5 defensive players together with a certain distance between them and said, listen, guys, now move forward and backwards. But this is the thing. This is something which is a problem. Indian football has really been something which is lovely to watch, really. And people talk about possession. Anyone who talks in the connection of the Indian national team to possession football, I'm not going to say what I would like to do with them. What I'll say is at least I would put them in an asylum because they don't have any clue. Anyone talking about possession football in the Indian football team, this team is not capable of playing 3 passes. What are we talking about? Wim Koevermans failed with it. He's now the coaching education director of the AFC. Highly qualified guy. So therefore, yeah. Listen is a pain to watch for national team at that left wing. Yeah, Vashwar. Yeah. But if you expect more, then it is your and it is my mistake. Hi, Blue. Still can't believe what we see. Blue, we have to accept it. As I said, I had hope. A little bit here and there. But nothing more, nothing less. To me, today, we played a very, very poor Hong Kong. Let's be very clear about it. We played a very, very, very poor Hong Kong. And even with our half chances here or there, if we had a little bit better finishing here or there, then who knows? But our problem today, is our success that I have seen over the last 27 years has always been on individual class, then team brilliance. I'm Vijayan, Baichung Bhutia, Sunil Chetri, to name the top 3 of that. But it also adds on a JJ and a lot of other players. That's it. It saddens me to see the guys' comments, such glory hunters. It's our team, our country. I, for one, will support Indian team till the end of my days, whether we play good or not. Jordan, you've been around for many, many years. Yeah, you're right. So, what to say? Thank you very much for saying this. And I say this, everybody is watching. Do not stop supporting Indian football. Do not. Keep on supporting. Ask questions. You know? So that's the reality. Mano was going for a draw in second half. Rahul Beke 90 minutes. Yeah, of course he was. AK Charan, he was going for a draw at the end. And this also is I always see team psychology. Team psychology is like, okay, now let's shut shop. And then you make a mistake. People were saying that who wins at Kaitak Stadium will qualify for 27 AFC Asian Cup. Maybe not. Because Singapore won in Bangladesh. High-flying Bangladesh. Everyone who said, and I said, Bangladesh going to the Asian Cup. Let's see. Right? So therefore, Singapore winning 2-1 in Dhaka, big win. We need Indian coach enough for spending on foreign coach. And tech, that's the biggest BS that I've been hearing. The Indian coaches have created this mess because they're not good enough. They are bad. There are few exceptions, but they're overall bad. Let's call them out. Indian coaches are the problem that we are in this state, not the administrators or on the field. Why cannot one Indian footballer bloody stop a ball properly? We're pathetic. And you want an Indian coach? I would put all Indian coaches tomorrow morning through a test. Let me see if they can really pass a proper E or D license. Pro license coaches, A. What are they? What have they achieved? Don't come with that. Oh, Indian coach. Indian coaches are bad. If you want to tell me, I know these coaches, I'm not going to speak about publicly. I could demolish every one of your so-called successful Indian coaches in just 30 seconds. Because they are not good. They are dependent on the individual brilliance of players. Right? You can say, oh, that's the case of the foreigners as well. Yeah, but some foreigners have been able to develop players. Even in a Manolo Marquez in Hyderabad and Goa has developed certain players. But he has proven over the last year or less than a year that he's not capable to understand what is needed of a national coach. And why do I say that? Because I've been very, very lucky because I've been around the Indian national team, be it seniors, be it juniors, especially seniors, around the time of Sukhvinder Singh, under Stephen, and especially under Bob, and saw what these guys do. Right? Even under 17s, early 2000s, under Nico Adam, what they put in effort. The under 17 World Cup squad, most of the players are worse today as 24, 25-year-olds than they were at 15, 16, 17. The only real exception is Apuya. That is a reality, guys. And that is what is what you need to understand. You heard Manolo Press, what is it? I have not heard it, Sachin. Take an example of Hong Kong. They lifted their stadium fully. They really did not see any support for India today. Even they weren't the best team for some time, yet they came in numbers to support. Yeah, Jordan. And this is the thing. You mentioned, I don't want to use the word, but you are very, very right. Sadly, in my opinion, you use the word today of glory hunters. Indians only want to support success. That is our biggest problem. You need to support your team even more when they're down. But we need to be critical as well. We need to ask for accountability. We need to ask right questions. But when the 90 minutes are played, you stand, behind your team. After the 90 minutes, let's talk about it. But for 90 plus minutes, support your team. This is what football fandom is about. This is what I think Indian football fans need to learn from Europe. Really, or even South America, other parts of even Asia, Southeast Asia. Look at brilliant example, Hong Kong, with all the criticism that Ashley Westwood and his team got in the last few days. Normally, if it was in Indian context, the stadium suddenly would be empty. We have not ability to score goal, as I think was Ashish says, Sunil Chetri will play for India with support of wheelchair. Yeah, I can challenge, but the thing is, he wanted to come back. He's tried his best. Sunil is also getting older. And keeping all the administrative lapses aside, our players are not just up to the mark. We need good coaches who teach basics correctly to U6 to 10, as 6 to 10-year-old kids. Which would 100%. You now live in the US, you see day in, day out, right? That is our biggest problem. Our kids start with too late to play football. Our kids don't play the proper football. They're not taught. I had a conversation last week with someone whose kid's supposedly talented. And he was telling me what he's been coached by former Indian national team players. I'm not a coach. I don't want to be a coach. But I realized what the basics are. I watched the whole weekend of youth football here in Germany at times. I played Friday myself, Saturday, Sunday here, Pfingstuni and Hagenberg. We've had the German Football Academy. We had PIFA from Mumbai here as well. Those kids were big talkers and realized, oh shit, both of the teams finished last in their respective groups. We need to realize how bad our football is over, right? Glorifying makes no sense. Yeah, let's set about the side. These guys because the others miss from front of goal. In fact, two different between passes, one from Chankey, one from distant rocket. Vashwar, yes, but Vashwar, if we were world class, we would score our chances, right? And this is, I remember, we won 4-0 against Hong Kong in 2022 for the last AFC Asian Cup qualifiers in Kolkata. I saw the match. I was sitting with a lot of ex-players. And I remember Ranveer Singh said to the AIFF, and I've said this now multiple times, that we need to realize that this game could have gone differently because we were on that day able to score of our chances. And that ability has gone. Even if Nishan Pandit has scored that day. That is our biggest problem. We're not able to, the ability to score. If we don't support our team in times like these, you don't have any right to come back when they are successful. Jordan, very well said. It is very well said. It was something unexpected, says Vipul. How are you, sir? Do you remember? Yes, I remember you traded what I said in your life. This stuff for the Asian Cup. That's only things happen. Listen, if anyone says it was not tough, then people don't know. So therefore, for me, but today, even taking a point would have been good, and we were not able to do that. This one, we had to run a possibility, but Ainge posted to India. What could be the salary like? PC Gamer Tag. I think the whole budget of the AIFF would have to go for Ainge Postecoglou to try and bring him to India. And again, dreaming is nice, but this unrest league. Why do you think who break Indian football momentum when your ranking was understand and suddenly it was shattered? Do you know who's the culprit? Tech, we were never 97. I think that's the first realization. We were, on paper, the 97th ranked team in the world. But the reality is, we were not. The AIFF and the coaches ensured we played the right opponents to work our way up the system. Very simple. Again, at the time we were 97 and Uzbekistan was 95. Do you think we were close to Uzbekistan? No. We are forgetting in 2023 when we were winning matches. There were a lot of lucky games, and especially one game comes to my mind. Sorry, 2 games, which I watched live in Bangalore. Lebanon and Kuwait in the SAF semi-final and final. Those two teams are better than us, but we won on penalties. Yeah, but hey, I said in July 2023, we need to be careful because what is coming after this, the next generation is not of quality. We have a quality issue. And if we don't wake up to those realities, nothing will change. That is my concern, right? Let's do AIFF bashing. Let's do Manolo bashing. No, we can't do just that. We need to call out everyone who's involved, right? That's the reality. I never saw a coach who came in and went smoothly like Manolo, simply out of frame. Yeah. Any update next head coach? Listen, Vipul, we've now announced what is the next head coach. The AIFF is not functional, right? Today was a decent one, in my opinion. It was not as bad as the Bangladesh game. Singapore beating one away shows us how poorly these players played in Shillong. Rushabh, I agree. I think 0-0 would have been a fair result. Yeah. Yeah, with a little bit of luck, we could have won. But the problems which are there, yeah, what to say? Make milk bikis, Lays and Harvest sponsors. Salary cap should be 1 packet of biscuit and chips each and 1 packet bread per player. Goal bonus, 1 little salmon. Yeah. Very soon I'm going to stop watching Indian football. And people, that is wrong. All of us. I'm saying this again and again today, if you want to hear it or not. All of you, all of us need to keep watching. Right? And yeah, we must realize it's not only the players or coaches or the AIFF, but it's also us to blame. We do not support, we don't encourage, we just want glory, we want to criticize. What is our role? Jordan, yeah, I think look at the last week's Ashish Negi video, which I think sums it up. Right? With not all, but some of the problems mentioned. But the fans, again, this chat represents this, what you're saying and what I also feel. In failure, you need to support your team. And this is not in the culture of the Indian football fan. Sorry to say that. The Indian football fan expects something which is not there to expect. So Edmund is there in the squad to say, I league represent. Vashwar, if I would tell you what the opinion in Canada was when he went to the Canadian Premier League, would you then call him up to the national team? I don't know. Would be my only opinion. Right? Overhyped. But who's going to talk about it? We will see at East Bengal what he can do. But even if he does well, that doesn't mean that he's international quality. I think the day is very, very close where I'll be starting a campaign to recall Baichung Bhutia to the national team. Because Baichung Bhutia, at least, just put him somewhere, stand up front, even offside, wait for a ball, and then you score. He knows where the goal at least is. These guys don't know where the goal is. I'm still hopeful, though, that Ashik chance went in the game. It would have been totally different. Even that Sunil chance that was blocked or close, still not good enough. Rushabh, I think Ashik, the 2 chances were good. But it is the first chance is very easy to criticize, and then you realize who has played football to what level or not. Because I had that same situation. I've said it, repeat again. It is how you place your feet, and how do you take it, and then it's your mind decision making. Because you're a left-footed player, you will always try to use your left. So that's the reality. Guten Abend, Simon. Sadly, I'm done with Indian football. That's it. Then, nah, I'm kidding. I will support Indian football to that. May what come. Simon, very good. That's what I want to hear. What will Sunil do? He came out of retirement. Vipul, he's tried his bit, but yeah, new coach won't change anything. But who is next candidate? Anand, the right coach. The problem is with saying, oh, the next coach cannot this and that and everything. Look at coaches like Stephen Constantine, like Bob Houghton, even in the past before that, as an Indian coach, Sukhvinder Singh was a big exception, in my opinion, in that. You get 10, 20% more of what the players are capable out of. That is what you need to get. These players are not even playing to their own quality and standards. That's the problem. That's reality. So the question is, how can we improve? You know, that is the big question today. How can we improve in a short notice? How do we get someone in who's a disciplined, who's strict, and who gets a system which works with this team? That's the most important thing. Manolo Marquez has not been able to figure out what a system is. We are the strongest at home. If we are true supporters and fans, we should flood the stadium with just the supporters. Yeah, Jordan, that's it. That is what is needed whenever India play at home. And now, boycott Indian football, this, that, everything. Let's see how many people turn up for the game against Singapore in October. Yes, right. I meant that loss deserved because that 70-minute Boris in for Ashish and Itnan break in for Chunky made 0 sense. Is that while Liston was just doing clown things. See, Beke for Chante makes no sense. I totally agree with you. Boris for Ashish, I would have made most probably at halftime. Actually, no, I would have brought in Roshan at halftime. Because Ashish was the weak link. Hong Kong realized that after about half an hour, that's the weak link. Let's try and attack through our left wing. Also, what is Gawley doing? He's been here for so long, but he has not done anything significant. Methamphetamine, what is he going to do? The final decision making, you can give inputs to your coach. The final decision making is with the head coach. You know? What I want to compare now is under Steven, we weren't this bad to start the game as if our players don't know how to play and end it like how we did it. We should have been more solid. Agree, but if we want to make one comparison, what happened today to us, then I go back to the AFC Asian Cup 2019, the one that we all celebrate, that we speak about the Thailand game, we speak about the first half an hour against the UAE, especially about Ashik Koronian. But there's one thing, the Bahrain match, right? 89th, 90th minute foul from Ronaldo, penalty, and we're out of the tournament. Why? Because the so celebrated Anas injured himself in a warm-up, wanted to start the game, and after 2 minutes had to walk off. And we had 3 substitutions at that time. So therefore, sometimes you have to relate to the reality. Even after the Howler Bafashal shouldn't have had to come that far under Mono. This defense never looked good enough. Very true. Being a passionate Mohun Bagan fan, I really felt that today List and Vishal played pure BS. They do not deserve to be in the national team. Yeah, that is what it is most probably. What kind of coach we should select, sir, according to you? Suraj, to me, I would like to see a coach like a Stephen Constantine, where we get some sort of discipline into the team. And structure. And that's the problem. Ochut says these players spent the last 3 weeks together and played several practice games. One, either they don't want to play for the national team or they are far away from Asian standard. Or 3, both 1 or 2. Ochut, I think there is a combination of all 3 factors, of all those on individual or as a combination. Huh? So, yeah, I think some players only are in the national team because they want to secure their own future in the ISL, because they also know that if they walk off the national team, they will most probably lose their spot, right? So, yeah. Or start a Dandi march to Delhi, says Simon. Maybe that's the option. In your opinion, who should be Indian coach? Consider money condition of AIFF. Mukul, I don't have any specific name in my mind. The only thing that I'm very, very clear of, it has to be a foreigner with experience at international level and experience of handling difficult teams and a difficult team and difficult situation. Said actually Indian players do not have creativity. They don't know what to do after getting ball, made more numbers of missed passes. They don't understand this international football. After yes, but why is that the case? So that's a good observation. That's the reality. Why we're seeing coach in other countries say manager? Just right, it's something English. The English call them manager rather than coaches because they didn't in the past, like in our system, you don't have a director of football or sporting director or head of football. You didn't have that in England. So the coach was not just the coach. He was used to call the manager because he was overall head. I had the same man who's saying Vishal is good over Albino or JSS Changte Borisum is good, Liston is good. Now what to say? Aman, did I ever say that Vishal was good? Was it? No. I've always said I don't think Vishal K deserves to win a national team. I don't rate him as a goalkeeper. And you're coming now with Albino. You think Albino is going to be able to cope with this? That's the other problem. Everybody's got an opinion. You're nice. Everyone should have an opinion. But we need to know. I realize also that Manolo doesn't seem to know Indian football. And I'll be arrogant enough. I know Indian football better than most people that work in Info. Why? Because I'm very, very fortunate and lucky that I've been in different shoes, in different positions. And I regularly am in touch, watch German football. Not only at the top level, but also at lower level. So that's the thing. Chante? No, didn't play well. But still, tell me a player who's better than him on that position. Boris? We can discuss. Pike Valpuya? Yeah. Udanta? Same discussion. Where is that difference maker of a player who can really do? Again, Gopit Singh Sandhu, for me, with his mistakes, is an India number one. Period. There's no point of discussion. And this was proven today once more. If anybody needed proof, watch the Bangladesh game, watch the Thailand game, watch today's game. Nothing more to say on that. Bas. Who's next after Monroe according to RRC game? I don't know. The AIFF might try and put in an Indian coach. That's going to be funny because the AIFF know what to say. This result was expected. These players are already giving up and dead inside. Even Manolo already given up. Most of Indian football fans knew what result going to be, but didn't want to accept reality. Probably yes on one side, yes, but no. And I say yes, and then I say no. And now you can see the sentiments. Players don't care. AIFF doesn't care. Government doesn't care. X, Y, Z. Liston says, scout good footballers who want to win for India, otherwise stop football in India. It is a question. Now we are complete failure. That is reality. So we need strict international experience coach. Manolo will be good coach at club level. Agree. That's what I've said. I agree so much with you. People living in denial and thinking boycotting will work. The most corrupted people stem in places where there are no eyes to look. Such times requires more voices. Methamphetamine, very well said. Very, very well said. The people who have gotten us here are often not even spoken about. AIFF, leadership of the AIFF, state associations, done. Question the clubs, question even more the academies, question the coaches. They have produced this. The mistake was not done by Manolo in the last 3 weeks. He has to live with what he's getting. Is he choosing the right players? I would say no. I would choose in certain positions different. Again, and 100 people will have 100 squads to put together. But the problems of our football are not that of today. These are problems of the last 15, 20 years. It is not even only ISL, the I League, and whatever below, all of it is involved. And this is what I said. It is very simple. Grassroots, youth football, coaching, competitions, scouting. Sort that out, you will have a much better team. Yeah. So that's the reality. But are we going to talk about those things and rectify those things which are needed? That's to me, that is to me the real question tonight. That is the question tonight. If the Indian football ecosystem recognizes their mistakes and rectifies them. Because the blame now is Manolo, players, team, AIFF. It's not our problem. We have to target our next 5 years, forget about AFC Asian Cup 2027, rather prefer for 2031 World Cup qualifiers or 2030 World Cup. I would rather say 2031 AFC Asian Cup because World Cup qualifiers are going to get tougher and tougher, and we want to move down the brackets. We're going to get in tougher groups. Blue says we need a good international experience, pragmatic coach. Yes, Blue, that's exactly what we need. That is, to me, that is what we need. We need to be honest. We need to be realistic. And we need to get out of the la-la land that we have been in Indian football. Sir, in your view, suggest well. So I'm not going to talk about coaches today, names. There are tons of them with international experience. There's a budget thing, this and that. Let's see. Let the AIFF and Manolo, let Manolo leave formally, officially, and then we can have a conversation about who. But I'll be very honest. I would, rather than talking about publicly and put pressure on people, that is like a lot of people, I would rather put that information to the AIFF. Let's talk about how to fix bigger things. For example, how to fix the agent nexus in clubs of paying these players more than 1 crore. Then let's get a coach who's going to understand and give good form information. Aditya, the nexus of agents and clubs, as big as a problem as much sound, that is not your problem. That will not improve your football or make it worse. If you have, and this is something which I think, I don't know, am I the only one who's understanding this? If you're not able to produce better quality players to replace the so-called bad ones, nothing will happen. If we produce players of a level of a Messi, of a Yamal, of a Jamal Musiala, of a Wirtz, whatever you want to, talk about the biggest, I don't know, Bakula, Desiree Doué or whatever. With or without the nexus, these quality players will break through because the agents will then fight for these players. I don't see those players coming through. Our problem is we have a lack of quality of players coming through. How many 17, 18, 19-year-olds are breaking through? If Indian football had a Lamine Yamal, anyone, he will break through. Because at ISL level, or even I-League level, ILSL level, the coaches will recognize, if they recognize the talent, they will give the player a chance. That's Can India beat San Marino? Origin, theoretical question, that match will never be played. I have no clue. In the past, I would have said easily yes. Today, no. Our standards, we have to score. Let's send arunfoot for AIFF president. Oh, Mr. Fafu, I saw something that someone posted, and what was it? They want now OCI president, OCI general secretary, and OCI coach. Yeah, thank you very much for all those. The possession football, that's how we got rid of Constantine and we gifted with Igor and Manolo. You said 2-3 passes exactly, and Stephen made us play beautiful moves and counter using 3-4 passes and still got hated. Mashwar, the reality is, I said that. I remember I did a video superpower football was quite big at the time. I think 2018 when I was speaking with Ankush in Mumbai on the row on the in Juhu on the beach. No, not on the beach, but on the side of the beach, and we had a walk. That because a lot of people watch European football, because people get carried away by European football, that they think that these are so therefore we need to be. It's a tough one. It's a tough one to make reality. But people are least bothered. In recently lost 15-0 to Slovakia and futsal too. Orijit, that's another problem. Only Sandesh, Anwar, Albeke, Suresh, Apuya, Abhishek, Roshan, Nikhil, Bro, Edmund, Mahesh are only eligible for national team. That's POC and full score wash. And half of the player you mentioned, I wouldn't pick. That's your opinion. My opinion is a different one. You've got mentioned names of players who would not even get close to the national team. But that's your opinion. I've got a different opinion. Where the academy is claiming these players with pride, where's that academy that claimed he's preparing players for World Cup? Yeah, Aditya. I'm sorry, I'm ashamed. I was also one of those guys who got carried by the Stephen out chatter. Now realize what I've done. I'm sorry. Simon, it's fine. If you realize it and you change, it's fine. I see a lot of people who still want to defend things, right? I saw, for example, Mohun Bagan's registration ban, right? It's a big thing. It's been over a month. And then they say, oh, FIFA has got no time. No, you've done something. Tell us what you guys have done. That FIFA has handed you such a ban. What did you really do? Tell us. Be honest. You screwed up. But hey, there is no accountability in Indian football. Who cares? You can get away with everything. I was about to say with murder. I'm not going to say nothing. You want to get away with everything. The worse you are as a character, the more successful you will be in Indian football. If you're honest, if you're good, you will fail in Indian football. Right? That's the reality. Clean up the system. But who stays? No one. Right? Because those who point fingers at others themselves are part of the problem. Oh God, Fafo, Mr. Fafo, better not. 2-1 to Guam 2015 to 1-0 to Hong Kong 2025. Regimes change, players change. It's more of the same. I gave up. No, Gaurav, do not compare the Guam situation with today. If you remember, after Bob Houghton left in 2011, we failed to qualify for the Asian Cup. That's also reality. But we had, Savio, Wim Kovermans, and others coaching. And Stephen had to rebuild. And that 2-1 against Guam was an eye-opener. I think was it 172 in the rankings after that? Yeah, I think it was. But he built something. Now, the house is broken. There's no foundation. Everything is a mess. Right? In 2015, at least, it was the start of the ISL days that everything was not hype. So, yeah. Also, people thinking Constantine needs to be brought back cannot understand that when you try to move forward problems will arise. Playing chaotic football under Constantine gives results, but we need to think of long run and make decisions to improve our game, not just get results for the sake of just PR. I agree with you to some extent, Metaphor. I think bringing back, that I don't think Stephen will come back for a third time. That's the one thing. But I think we need to realize that what we have at the moment, my problem with this whole thing is, how can we improve? Our football will not improve because the player material you're getting is actually not getting better. I've been saying, I remember someone who's been at a club for a long time, he was defending it. Even when we were after the SAF final, I said, listen, our quality is dramatically falling. He said, no, we are going to get better and this and that. I said, look at the quality. And I've seen other games where quality is going down dramatically. This today is the end result of that reality. I might be a little too honest on these things. I might be sometimes a little too direct, but I say that. Our problem is that we are not willing to address the issues and the problems, you know. So that's a reality. Your opinion on someone like Viviano taking over? I know AIFF's ways won't change, but at least someone who's well versed with AIFF access to someone produce quality results. Did he produce quality results? That's my question. It depends on the player material that Viviano had. And it depends on the player material that every coach has at club level or at international level. Bibiano got at the start some very, very good players and was able to give results. And even if Bibiano couldn't change anything when the quality of players got worse. I saw 2023, I saw them in Stuttgart. That was not good. That's the worst under 17 I've seen. That's the reality. We have to seriously monitor the transaction of funds during player transfers and currently revoke and absolutely less salary cap than the present moment. Angry Birds, those things are not going to happen. You know? Bangladesh can easily hammer India 3 goals at Dhaka. Origin, let's not even talk about Bangladesh. Even they lost to Singapore today. So that hype that you've had is going to go down a little. You know? One thing I would like to say is I still back Vishal. Someone said we need Gurpreet back. Heck, even current Gurpreet would want his old version back. He's been making too many errors. Rushabh, but there are two things. Yes, Gurpreet has made errors. Gurpreet makes errors. But I at least had a feeling that the defenders in front of him, you know, that Vishal K doesn't give them the stability. Right? So for me, Gurpreet should have never been taken out. And Vishal Keth is not India material, period. He never was. He can be 10 times ISL goalkeeper of the season. But then you have to give Alberto Rodriguez and Tom Alderweireld an Indian passport. Then we can talk about it. To all of us here, I've been following Indian football since 1990. This is 35 years. Nava would vouch for me. Yes, I can. I know a thing or two about the sport, and nothing, so I can keep supporting Nava, and I have seen far worse. That's also true. That's also true. I will support India, but I know someone will beat India 1-0 if they meet. Orijit, theoretical question. Who cares? Kind of question Boridha asks makes valid. What makes it valid? Where has he asked questions? Ask him to ask the right questions. Boria knows better. It's just a shame for the country, nothing to say. Yeah, Edu alert, Odisha, very, very right said. One after today, not only Vishal failed us, but the system failed Vishal too. The lack of experience of Vishal was blowing out just due to the lack of international exposure. Angry Birds, sometimes you can get international exposure and get better, and sometimes you don't. And that is for the system to figure out. Vishal Keth is not India material. Period. And Manolo has now not been willing to change that for 3 matches. It didn't cost him against Bangladesh. It should have cost him against Bangladesh, but he was lucky it didn't. And today it cost him. I didn't watch any national team since the game against Bangladesh. I knew we would lose, but I knew how Bangladesh played today. Akash, they lost. So, and Singapore, Bangladesh pressed Singapore early on, but Singapore got themselves out. Anyone who wants Indian coaches can see the women's team. Sorry, forgot that example. Yeah. We're going from bad to worse with Indian women's football, with Indian coaches. Yeah. Is anyone calling for Indian coaches? Yeah. Also was thinking randomly last year I saw an old Mama goal. So talking about long rangers, Mama, Alvito, Mehta, Didika, Cabral, Lobo all could do it. They won't do it 10 on 10, of course, but among the current national meter who has the ability to even hit one now? None, I would say. Apuya has it, but Apuya does it most probably once every 2 years. I think he's done it in Northeast, he's done it in Mumbai, and he's done it in Mohun Bagan, I think one each. And why we're not saying that this is a shame for the country? I'm saying that. Who's not saying it? Edu Alert Odisha, yes, it is a shame. Those who are saying we still support Indian football beg to you, please leave. You have time, invest it into good work, productive work. Please don't waste your time in this. I'm on wrong approach. And I think what Jordan said earlier on, and anyone who wants to watch it earlier on, Jordan says it very well. You have to support your team, especially when it loses. And you have to ask the right questions. Don't, some of you try to be over smart and, hey, I know this, I know that. No, you don't. You don't have a clue what you're talking about. Just because you watch a little bit of football, you understand how the game runs. That is the problem. Blaming Vishal is not justified. Year after year, too much played with Gopi Sandhu didn't develop successor like no other young star. Chances to play Akash. No. And this is BS. He's not India material. So, yeah, that's the reality. Although I don't believe in Indian coaches, but tell me what worse can we play with Indian coaches? You're saying our quality is street football, then it's one or Indian coach, what matters? Prabal, today we lose 1-0. You put an Indian coach, you lose 5-0. That's my simple point. As bad as we are, we lost 1-0. You bring in those players that people call for, those coaches we call for, you can already start the game with 0-5 on the score sheet. And you want to give chances to those people, please do. Get us even worse. Height is very important. Football is effective. Some positions in info. What is your opinion? It doesn't matter. The height is, if you have it, is nice. If you don't have it, you have to have other attributes. AIFF should think carefully why they're wasting millions on these players. Akash, they don't, because they're winning them things, no? They don't have a problem. The national team is a different thing. Now, do you see OCIPO incoming if we fail to qualify SA to us that in the meanwhile, restructure grassroots with foreign youth coaches if OCIPO senior supply comes through? As I've said in the last few days, I have still not heard anything from government sources who says that they're working on the PIO scheme or OCI scheme first. And where are the foreign coaches coming in for grassroots? Who's paying for it? We've cut down on foreign coaches working in academies in Indian club football over the last 2 years. Everyone's trying to cut costs. We don't know if we are in a situation at this moment in time where we don't know if we're going to have a league in the summer. Can anyone tell me if the ISL will be played? Can anyone tell me if the I-League or anything will be played, if the AIFF is going to be in a position to be organizing anything? That's the brutal reality. If I like it or not, it hurts, right? Everybody should be hurting today. I still didn't understand why people were against Stephen be happy now with possession football. Akash, possession football. This is what has been said because people watch European football, how many teams are capable of playing good quality possession football in the world? Really good. 10 clubs plus nations, maybe. We want to play something that most of the world can't play, but we want to play it. This is the naivety we have, right? FIFA will increase the Indian quality of the World Cup in the next 15 years and host FIFA World Cup. Uday, we are a laughing stock. FIFA and the others don't take us seriously, right? And with all the politics that has been going around, India has not made any friends in the last few weeks. So all these nice dreams, either India throws ridiculous amounts of money like the Qataris and the Saudis. We don't have that. So therefore, our future doesn't look good at this moment. And let's wake up to that. no, we're going to stop down for Indian football. We support a national team. I don't know what future of Indian football we support till one day something positive changes. Yashraj, that's what I want to hear. And so therefore, that is what we need. Every one of us needs to support Indian football, right? But due to corrupt organizations, Uday, elsewhere organizations are also corrupt and it's working. That is not the problem. This is how the world functions. In sadly, I would like it to be different, but that's the reality, you know. And therefore, for me, very very clearly, it is a systematic failure. But we will not call it systematic failure. Please replace all these players. Play young upcoming talent with this team. We can score or defend. Just give young players chance. Stop supporting big clubs who don't create players but buy them. Sushant, where are those players? My simple question. I said yesterday on yesterday in an interview, right? Where are the younger, better players? We seem to start getting to a certain level at 25, 26, 27, right? We need to give bright talent game time. Where is the bright talent? That is the other problem. Where is the bright talent? You're right, we're never 97, says Akash. We will support, we will criticize the effort. Will they change? Will players change? Ritik, that is not interlinked. Will the AIFF change? Hopefully, maybe. Will the players just need to listen, you know? India need a coach like Syed Abdurrahim who will scout good footballers for Indian football team. Rest up to you. Foreign coaches waste for Indian football. Let's make good Indian team. And this is, you live also in La La Land when you tell me this, 50s. And, you know why was Indian football successful in the 50s and 60s? Do you understand? Right? Because very few countries in Asia used to play football. And when more and more countries joined and played football, we're out of the picture. So don't glorify the 50s and 60s. Oh, we want this, we want. Listen, we missed the bus. 1950, biggest ever mistake. We should have played the FIFA World Cup, period. Nothing else. That is the problem, guys. Don't glorify these things. And all these ex-players, oh, you know what? Simple. I remember, I can say that Bob Houghton once asked players in Kolkata, ex-players who were giving Gyan, he said, listen, how many World Cups have you guys actually played? You seem to know your football well. And they didn't even understand that it was a sarcastic comment. Why do we all consider SAF even we should either join WAF, CAFA, or ASEAN, or we're going to miss the bus of football? Zidane, no one's going to allow us into those. Why? Again, if you've watched this show, I've said this, I think, I don't know how many zillion numbers of times, we are not moving out of SAF. We are SAF, right? Why would anyone, West Asia, Central Asia, or ASEAN take us? They don't need us. We are part of SAF, period. Moving elsewhere. Lovely. We are so bad, we would finish. Agul was actually compared to other foreign coach. He won the I-League with BFC, but after that he failed also. Isn't ISL supposed to improve our quality? Why ISL failed to do so? Because what I said in 2014 in front of Ms. Sabani, that we need to do more of football development and rather than marketing. The ISL did. My biggest mistake is problem is that we've tried to copy a lot from the IPL, and we're not the IPL. The monies have not come like the IPL, and therefore money has been cut down. Now, if you are a football team, and this happens even in Europe, your focus will be most often on the first team. There are clubs who say, listen, I can get relegated or whatever, but I focus on the whole club, and that happens, and that works for them. But a lot of teams focus on the first team, and that is what happened in Indian football. That's why the ISL, if you look at it, the Indian players are becoming bigger problems, and the foreigners are more important every year. And the one or the other Indian has a standout season, and next year you think, oh, why doesn't he play? But we are not playing possession football. Matter of fact, we are not playing any style of football. So stop the ways if you think we are playing possession football. Aditya, that's what I've said. We've never played. We are not capable Indian football. What is, if you ask me what is Indian football, I don't even know what Indian football is. Because I can't tell you what is our football, right? That's the problem, no? We can talk about it, but do we have a style of football? No, I don't. I don't think we have a style of football. What has I-League achieved? Aditya, question again, same. What has the NFL, what has the I-League achieved? Nothing. And the ISL has achieved nothing as well. All three leagues have failed. State league dead, women's football is dead, many state associations are not functional, just don't have ISL. Who says state leagues are dead? Who says women's football is dead? Many state associations are not functional. It is all alive, but it's not working the proper way. That you should say it that way, Deepak. Right? Bibiana Fenner is going to be next coach. I would, if Bibiana would ask me for my advice, it's not going to work. Siddharth says they can't complete passes as answer. All I'm saying is that blaming the league will bring us nothing. Yeah. If no one will watch Indian football, the AIFF will get free pass to do whatever they want. We should keep watching and keep putting pressure on the AIFF. Ritik, that's the point. That's the point. If people say that we stop watching, nobody cares, and so things will get even worse, and nobody bothers. What we feared has finally happened. Yeah, it was always a possibility that we end up like this, right? So if you or whoever likes it or not, the risk was there. The risk was there, and any potential national team coach that you can think of. PC Gamer Tag, I've got a few people on mind, and if the situation arises, I will. Yeah, let's see. And what kind of pressures they are feeling? They are not feeling. Aditya, it's not about pressure feeling, but at least some people are talking about it, and that is, I think, very, very important. Anu was really painful to watch. I'm sorry. Angry Birds has been painful to watch since he's left Mohun Bagan. This one last year for Anwali was a disaster. Right? He got more money, but he didn't even get to the level that he was last season. Right? ISL wasted, I-League wasted. Who failed to give us quality football for national team? There are many talented football in India, but they're ignored by so-called football lobby. Where are these talented players? I've seen quite a bit of youth football over the years. I don't see those talented players. Yes, there is a lobby. There could be the one or the other player who's better. But where I always say is, and I did a video a few weeks ago on that, watch it, where I asked the specific question, why are we not producing I Am Vijans, Baichung Bhutias and Sunil Chetris? I'm not even talking international level. And then I could go up to a higher level, to an international level, and say, hey, listen, why are we not producing Asian level? Have we ever produced world class? Right? And then people, we used to produce Asian level at 50s, this and that. But what was Asian level in football in 60s, 50s and 60s? Asian football started properly in the 80s and 90s, actually more in the 90s. So that's the reality we need to realize. I want to stop dreaming of World Cup, but at least I want dribbles to be complete and passes to be correct without back passes, at least. Zidane, nice, but let's keep on dreaming of the World Cup on one side, Fine, Edmund is overhyped. Mahesh is overhyped. Every except the starting level is over. Then what? We are still losing matches. Why are we still free to the players that try? Why keep playing? Because they've been given a try. Huh? Why? Aditya, you're not going to find the solution in the players that you met. They're part of the same problem. They're part of the same system. In Cricket World Cup 2007, we are out in tournament group stage and make by disappointment and fans. But cricket cheer up fans by taking T20 World Cup, but foot burning fans continuously. Yeah, but you're comparing to India is the biggest, most important one nation, in cricket. If Kullan Chaubey resign, who will be the next president? Political party member? No, political party. Chumbutia. What do you think? Mesut Griezmann, very interesting combination of a name. I don't know. I don't think Bachung will has any chance to become president because, he doesn't have forget politics, but even in football, not liked. I think we need someone new, someone who can do something, someone who is also going to call out things, most probably not make friends, and then see what can be done. We are out, man. None of the players want to come out of their comfort zone. No passion in them. We're done, man. Sorry to say. Yeah, couldn't agree more. Next president, not happening. For the context, I did some digging and turns out Bachung is same as Kalyan. In fact, he's an active part of a syndicate. Okay. Lovely that you guys can do digging and all. I'm hoping if Bachung comes, at least he has international exposure, knows what is an defect, at least, and he will hopefully try to fix. Not working. Before I started, the only job of the fitness was to kick the ball out of sight, constant tightrope around them to at least stay in line. This new age football fans didn't see those things. Actually, Amre Tendu, I actually spoke about this rope thing in 2004. That Stephen was. I remember Steve got so angry in the training session. He said, "Listen, what you guys actually listen to me or you don't care?" I remember that day that he shouted at the players. And we're looking at, no, sir, coach, we're trying to do what you're telling us. And it shows that the players were not in a position to do what the coach wanted them to do. So therefore, it was hilarious on one side to sit outside and watch it in a training session, but it shows you what problems we are facing at this moment in time. We're talking about basics, and that is a very, very problem. Just realized, wow, still over 50 people watching, 1 hour 1 hour 17 minutes, more than 1 hour 17, sorry. If you're liking what we are talking about today, 41 likes so far. Sorry, I've gotten a little emotional today about things. Do share it with others as well. Maybe watch it even afterwards. And if you are new, maybe subscribe to the channel. Ask your questions. We're at 2,646. Thank you very much. And I'll try and answer your questions as I'm trying to do everyone's in today's live. How about we bring a person like Professor who would actually purchase against Aditya? Those days are gone. Players take fan support for granted. They think they can on pitch and people will come to watch it. How much you can force to watch fans in the name of national team 5 years. Prabal, I think to brush everyone the same, I think would be wrong, right? But I understand where you're coming from, but the problem is also that people make them superstars on social media. They think they are something, right? They believe they are something. So that's why it is a problem. But 5 years, no. The rest of your life, Kapil, the rest of your life, you will have to watch and support the Indian national team because it is your team, it is my team, it is our team, right? This is our team. This is the quality of team. Sadly, all this is going to die down in just days. I don't want that to happen. Please, fans, don't die down. Stand up. Yeah, Simon, very well said. So fans will leave and then remain. Fans will blame cricket, not players, and AIFF was actually culprit. Already fans are leaving Indian football. Probably, I know. And that's why I said, we discussed it. Jordan said it very, very well today, that fans are there when it's a success, when they are successful. But we need to be there all the time. This is something which is very, 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 very important. Team selection, other fault you find? Yes, 100%. Both Kerala Blasters and national team give me mental trauma, says Vishnu. Ooh, that's a difficult one. People have many tension in life. They watch football as game for happiness. If you break heart again, they will leave. They will not include in football as one of the problems in life. Probably, and that is when you have not understood what football is. Sports, is not always hunky-dory and one way. If you support club football, if you support a club, and I think a very good example at the moment is look at the Wrexham documentary. Look at where Wrexham was when Rob McElhenney and Ryan Reynolds came around. Right? Those people suffered for 15 years in the lower tiers of English football, in the fifth tier of English football, right? Nearly even got down to the sixth. And then they come and suddenly fairy tale. Football, you support football, not for mental pleasure or this or that. You support football because, you know, um, and that is something which you need to accept. Steven Dunstan gets sacked now. Hear me out, says Hannibal. Okay, I will explode if someone here comes compares the agreement of cricket and football. Both are different sport. Cricket is and sport of football is flourishing in so many countries playing. Okay, Aditya. Professor Patel is the main culprit to demoralize Indian football. I hope you remember that. No, he didn't. Take. And people like you are saying that are ignorant to the facts. But hey, it's all Proful's fault. Good. You're singing the lines of those people who are destroying Indian football. Congratulations. Ashley Westwood, if Velu Suraj, he's going to stay in Hong Kong now. Can there be some possible coach names in India? Manikandan, no. So, no. I wish the next 4 games go away, but Risa, do you see the Singapore squad having the chance to qualify a group or Bangladesh take it? Where's it? It's advantage Singapore and Hong Kong. They've got 4 points. Bangladesh and India got 1. Bangladesh is in the same situation as India. All the hype there. Well, Bangladesh winning this group is as likely as India at the moment, right? So therefore, we need to start winning. We need to win at least 1 or 2 matches, then we can talk about the rest. So, probably ruined football and Air India both. Sushant, he didn't destroy Indian football. If you believe Proful Patel destroyed Indian football, then you don't know what it is. Proful, yeah, Air India, yeah, no point of discussion. I agree with you. But Indian football, he actually allowed people to build something which has been destroyed in the last 3 years by other people. Yeah, that's the reality. We need a dictator manager with belt in his hand. The way Constant controlled dressing room was unbelievable, says Akash. Profit did nothing wrong except the point when he refused to step down. We were roaring in his era, and now we're a joke, a good one-time joke. And again, step down was asked by the Supreme Court, by the system, not by FIFA and by the football regulations. What about Des Buckingham as India coach? No, is it? As much as I like Des as a coach, but I need an internationally experienced coach to come to coach India. Only OCIPO can save this team. That's it, says wasted bananas. Also, what did the good for nothing chunk to do? Huh? Playing safe and back pass away. But there's another thing. It wasn't good. But he was better than most others. Right? So others have been even worse. That's the sad part. As fans, don't sleep get disturbed when such results come time of time. At breaking point, you will say, do whatever you want. I don't care. बाप भी एक समय के बाद बेटा को समझाना होगा. Prabal, if this is, and this is, I guess, which shows the problem of how we see sport. Yeah, 1 or 2 days in my mind. I've got my work. I focus on that. And so that's reality. I don't understand why Sahal has been dropped and the coach is not using Mahesh enough. These two are some of the best performers along with Apoy Anwar in the last 3 years. And see, Agent OP Anwar has been pathetic over the last year. Let's be honest about it. Mahesh, I think you're forgetting how he was bodied in the Asian Cup, and that Manolo knows that. And Sahal, I saw him the last time against Punjab FC, and he got himself injured, or rather, I was actually about to shout to Molina to just get him off. He was that bad. So I don't know what you guys watch sometimes. I don't know, maybe I'm watching something else than you guys are. But because if that's the reality, then I don't know. Today, we lost when Brandon got substituted. After that, we lost the control in the mid, and that Beke sub, my God, when I saw Beke on the stream, my mind went insane. King loss, I agree. Mahesh coming on for Brandon didn't work, and Beke sub, yeah, Beke would have kept Chante on. All are talking about OCI player, but when they're going to stop playing for us? Where we go, we need clubs at every 30s. Sushant, OCI and Indian club football at the moment are not interlinked. It's about the national team. Insult the national team players, mock them, call them greedy, selfish, unproductive. They are mostly tribals. You're free to insult them, says Shubhashish. OCI is a continuous supply chain. Exactly. Most of the players would be out of the national team if OCIP players come in. So therefore, that is a point that one has to realize. There are a lot of players who are at the moment Indian national team players will no longer be in the Indian national team if PIO and OCI players come in. What India did when we hit unassuming ranking, do you think we need to do the same thing again? I think we didn't do much. Steven just changed a few players, took him some time, and then rebuilt. Can Kalyan Chaubey resign? Manipal, in theory, yes, why not? Sir, give me one reason now to support this team. Given rare because this is your team. And especially when a team is down and doesn't perform, you support it. That is what football culture is all about, Now, please tell us about the Deutsche Fußball Association. As one recommended, some of the giving of Sunday League teams with technical tactical guidance to play a certain method. Jordan, there is a system online of the Deutsche Fußballbund, of the DFB, of the German Football Association, where you can follow stuff, and there's inputs on what to do, not to do. And and again, they do courses for managers and coaches who are mostly freelancers, right? They are part-timers. They have a job in the week, and then in the evenings they train, and on Saturday, Sundays they play, right? I'm even seeing we need better players in every single position. Other, if we go with the striker drought, we already have a midfield drought, and even after Jingan retired, and now we have a goalkeeper problem. Suddenly, I should implement a strict salary cap for the Indian players. Really done with this team. Nishu, it's not going to happen. You can do a salary cap. Let's say you do a salary cap of whatever figure. Let's say 25 crores now with inflation, whatever. I can give you a sponsorship contract of whatever amount I'm not paying you on the salary cap. Salary cap in India with all the jugaad that people do and has been done over the last 10, 11 years is not going to happen. I want to see Bachchan Bhutia as an AIFF president, Manikandan, as much as Bhutia as a friend, not working for me. Those who want to see Bachchan as president, all I have to say is that he's worse than Kalyan. I've gotten some of his works, and trust me, Manoj got all ingredients for sandwich from AIFF. He didn't check the quality of ingredients. Now that sandwich is for India. Yeah, that's good. No, Bachchan Bhutia, I'm Vijay. Listen, what has Vijubhai done? Again, these guys are legends of the game, but they are not administrators. They are not good managers. That's the reality. And I need sports management pros to run and organize the federation. That's the reality. Supposed to need to fully restructure. Yeah, that's also a point. I don't want to see them anymore, says Mr. Ham Jamatia. Watch Kerala grassroots program. I hope they do something. We don't have a good pool of players to choose from. Results expected. Scouting, management, admin, scouting team, are they even qualified? Good question. So that's the reality. We have Parthiv and Gurkir not even on bench. How much did both of them play this season for their respective clubs to be on the bench? We need to find Jingan replacements as well. Let's hope for better first touch and be more aggressive too, and for us to do aggressive attacking. We play need good ball. We don't have any ball control. We are goal for says Akash. Bengal have 3 clubs, but not a single player in your football team. Yeah, but where are the quality players? Ashley was 2 different teams beat us. Not any for preparation. Our coaches keep crying. Yeah, that's also reality. We have to bring contract system national team players, not a national team contract. Will get limited salary from club. Vishnu, don't compare football to cricket. Doesn't work. Is there any chance to file a case in accountability and structure? Structure, no, but accountability, yes. You can file an RTI. Even after 6 months of camera, players will fail in one. Akash, the problem is with the national team is that if you can't play certain things, it is too late. That is the reality. That's my problem, right? It's time to forget about AFC Asian Cup this time and let's rebuild with a better coach with experience of international football. Yeah, exactly. When a club is giving 3 crores, then why in a football match matters? I still destroyed in the football team. No, it didn't. This is the case around the world. No player gets money from, we're going to get there. Sorry that I disagree with you. Even if a Lamine Yamal level talent appears, he never is going to develop into one. Rushabh, If a Lamine Yamal level talent appeared and he literally is banging on goals left, right, and center in youth system somewhere, someone or the other will see him. Because someone or the other will think, oh, you know what? If I can get that player, I can actually make money on that player. Right? So therefore, Lamine Yamal level talent or whatever level talent is going to work. How to see Flakers have Alonso battle in next season? Pradeep, let's keep it to Indian football today. We'll talk about others next season. Likes of Baichung, Sunil, Jing, and Gurpreet were never good enough at international level. It's a shame we can't produce another Baichung, Sunil, or Jing, or Gurpreet. Then we know the system is broken. Yeah, that's the reality. Well, I'm not good after this loss. What do you say about Antonio Lopez Havas managed Bolivia national 97, beat Mexico, Argentina, Uruguay, Colombia? Havas was in the running. I don't know how much, if he wants to do it now. What to do now? But the players don't care. They will go back to answer earning their clothes. The post-match interview went from being positive from players to let's see if God is willing. We need to analyze and we need to do something, but that's not going to happen. We're not qualifying for short job. Himself was a pro player and definitely he's understood the problems in the system. Hope he's bringing a good manager. He understood nothing. Right, I need to go and get some work done. I have a work call in about 8 minutes. Cared enough about Indian football today, nearly 4 hours. 4 hours of lives. I know I see a lot of more questions, guys. Let's do this tomorrow. I won't be online, but in the coming days, it's a disappointing day of football. Nothing more to say to that, I guess. And but again, I can only repeat myself again and again and again. Don't stop supporting Indian football. Don't asking questions. I know some of the questions might not be right, in my opinion, my humble opinion, but do ask questions. And we need to fight on. It cannot go on like this. And if you like this video, like it. Share it with others to maybe watch, whatever, maybe in the same mood. And keep supporting Indian football, never stop. And let's keep on hoping for the best. Thanks a lot, guys. Good night, and I'll catch you very, very soon.